Hello, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at my newest character tier list for Mario Kart Deluxe before the booster pass DLC is released. So I don't know, barring there's any changes to any of the loadouts, characters, or additional characters, we're just going to look at what I posted on Twitter. I'll link it in the bio on the YouTube below. But yeah, we're going to get to it right here. So here we go. We have the following. I'm just gonna put these here just so I can fill that up. We have the we have the following tier list of what I posted earlier today. Essentially, and I'm kind of gonna go reasoning why this is the case. Essentially, one, the reason why they're all S A B C D. So all the characters can essentially win, in my opinion. Like they're all viable for the most part for any races, but the higher skill lobbies you get to, it's really difficult to win B and above, from my opinion. Because the key thing is the reason why that most of this S class is ideal is the combination of speed, mini turbo, and acceleration for their specific stats. And Waluigi and Roy and Donkey Kong all share the same stats, so that's why they're S tier. And if you go online, you mostly see players play Waluigi on a Wiggler Red Rollers, and that is arguably the best meta build. Although standard bike is the same, and I actually go through that in my reply here. Let me actually go into a new tab so I don't get out of that view. Yeah, I go into a reply here, and I mentioned that this is based on you using the best builds, which is essentially Wiggler, standard bike, Mr. Scooty, and Biddybuggy. Those are the 4 best carts for outward drift. If you're used to Mario Kart Wii or inside drifting or inward drift, it depends on what you would like to call it. There's Yoshi Bike and Comet. They're both the same stats. So most people use Yoshi Bike, but they're both the same. And then wheels wise, honestly, you can use red rollers or blue rollers. They're the same. Gliders, 4 of them are the same, but I'd recommend either Cloud, Paper, or Flower. They're the best, mostly because of specifically the mini turbo itself. So that's the reason why most people you see that hand there. And I'll link the weight classes, and this actually is determined why this tier list is like this. But yeah, I mean, like the weight classes are like the characters are all different. Like even baby characters are a little bit different. So if you're like, wait, the baby characters are all the same, they're not. So Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, and Dry Bones, and your baby Mii are the same, but Rosa and Lemmy, and then the Baby Peach and Baby Daisy they're different. They have a different set of acceleration. So yeah, and I'll make sure to link this in the description so you'll see it. But that's why these are actually determining the actual tier list itself. But again, this is 100% based on using your meta build. So if you use a different build, it's not going to work. So back to the actual tier list itself. So we talked about why S classes works. I use Roy. Roy is actually one of my favorite Koopalings. So I always gravitated towards Bowser, Roy, Dry Bowser. Before I used Roy to win some tournaments and compete at a higher level, I used Bowser and Dry Bowser on a Teddy Buggy, which isn't the best. It's like, I would say probably like Teddy Buggy is like A class. It's a little bit worse than the Wiggler, but not as good. But I always got hit out early because Bowser's acceleration is really low. And the reason why, so A tier, it's kind of fluctuating, depends on your lobby itself. But in my opinion, the reason why that Wario, Dry Bowser is a little bit better than the whatever cruiser class of King Boo, Rosalina, and Link is because their speed is quite better than them, and if you were able to run a little bit better and catch up, it ends up just being a better race for you overall. But honestly, if I were your boy, yeah, but your boy does. It's not bad though. So I'll go the reason why that D tier, C tier exists. But in general, you can still, like, I can race with this D tier in the next few races, and I can still win most lobbies as long as it's not like filled with all meta builds. Because if you play all meta build people, it's gonna be hard because you can't catch up with speed and mini turbos because everybody else has optimal stuff. But in my recommendation, if you first start playing this game, it's really good to play with a medium or medium heavy build. So like, it depends on how you play. If you get hit a lot, play with someone lighter, because you're just gonna end up having a bit of acceleration. You won't end up being so frustrating. But in general, from my perspective, if you first start playing this game, really good starters. You can just try King Boo, Rosalina, Link, Luigi, and Iggy. Those are also good as well. Mario and Ludwig are the same weight class. B is really good starting point. So it just depends on who you want. Yeah, I mean, in general, this is subjective. Metal class could be B tier or A, depends on what you're doing. But in my opinion, I think they're A, given that I just like their stats is a little bit worse than Wario and Dry Bowser, but I think that in general they do perform pretty well if you're in the right hands. And the reason why Bowser and Morton are in the end of A is because they have top speed in the game, and it's same with a heavy Mii. They're the fastest in the game, but if you get hit really a lot, you'll have a harder time to catch up. So it ends up just being a poor experience. Then B tier, it's pretty straightforward. They're all like pretty balanced. You can't go wrong with any of these characters. If you use Luigi or any of those folks, you should be fine. Yeah, basically, but you never really know. And C tier, the reason why these are all in the C tier itself is because they lack speed in Mini Turbo. Acceleration is fine, but the speed is lacking. So if you're in a lobby with like a lot of good players, you're gonna have a tough time unless you are a lighter character and you snake a lot, but snaking is not really viable in this game. And then D tier, the reason why those exist there is because they significantly lack the speed and Mini Turbo that they would need. But I still race Wendy, Toadette, Isabelle, Dry Bones, time to time, and Bowser Jr.'s, and they're still fun to play as, so you're not really missing anything out by not playing as them. But yeah, that's my tier list. I'll link it in the bio in the YouTube video below, and if you're on Twitch, hello, thanks for sticking around this YouTube segment. I just wanted to make sure I did this here, makes it easier. I'll also link these as well, which is the Mario Kart wiki, and then the MK builder, which is actually pretty important if you wanted to actually build your own kart. Can you see this? Can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. So for example, this is, I forget who made this, but like you can actually compare your stats. So if you want to, if your favorite character is say Rosalina, and you wanted to see a good build, you can actually put together and the bodies, the tires, and the gliders, and compare each build. So we'll do Rosalina, and let's compare her with Mr. Scooty, a Wiggler. We're gonna do Roller. Let's do Paper Galler instead, and then let's do Rosa here, and then let's do, I would say probably if you just start this game, you don't have everything unlocked, so let's just do Standard Bike, and then Red Loaders and Cloud Glider, you should have those unlocked. So if you see below, I'll make sure you guys can actually see this. Yeah, if you see here the stats-wise, we'll zoom in a little bit. It actually will tell you that there's speed, there's different speeds where you are. So it doesn't tell you in the game, but this will tell you, like, most of the builds you're running, you'll go faster in the water, or in the air, or in anti-gravity than on the ground. So, typically speaking, it's always, depending on the lines you're racing, you always want to keep that in mind. So if you're in a water level, and there's, like, places where there's water, not water, you always want to be in the water. It doesn't make you slower, it makes you faster, actually. So, that's a key thing that you want to look out for. And then also this shows you the acceleration. Obviously, when it comes to these three builds, this comes with the game, the standard bike, so you're better able to start with this. These you have to earn through the coin system and all that stuff. But in terms of comparison to these, the fastest build is these two because they're essentially the same. But standard bike would be the one you can actually use. Mr. Scooty's good. I prefer running Mr. Scooty only because I get hit a lot, and you end up getting hit a lot in Mario Kart. The reason why Mr. Scooty, for me personally, and if you end up being someone that gets hit a lot, Mr. Scooty, Biddybuggy are really good because you'll have acceleration. So if you get hit, you can get up and get going. So that's one of the reasons why. When it comes to handling, they're pretty much the same, honestly. There's not really much difference in handling. The only difference is that Mr. Scooty has a little bit better of handling, and then overall, and then also with the water. So that's the only difference. And in terms of grip, essentially it's the same. It's minimal differences here. But the Mini Turbo is actually the one that's a little bit more. So if you notice when you're playing against someone that is running Mr. Scooty or running Biddybuggy, they're usually going to go for the maximum amount of drift, and that's why they go a lot faster than you when they get out of their mini turbo. So that's very crucial if you're running a build that has more mini turbo. You want to make sure you get super mini turbo or ultra mini turbo, which is blue and purple. You don't want to do like smaller ones. But yeah, if you first start playing this game and you're like, shit, I don't know what to do, Bear. Honestly, you can't go wrong with a standard bike, roller wheels, cloud guider, and then really any character is fine. But when it comes to these group of characters, honestly, King Boo, Rosa, Link are really fun to go with. If you struggle with getting hit a lot, Ludwig is good, Luigi's good, Mario's good. This class is good to start in as well. But yeah, all right, that's my tier list. Thanks again if you're on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I do lessons as well. You can check my meta fights in my bio. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye bye.